Welcome to ChiroSecure's Empowering Women in Chiropractic, the Facebook Live show for successful women by successful women, proving once again women make it happen. Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. Now join today's host, Dr. Nicole Lindsey, as she talks overhead, debt, and creating other sources of income. And now, here's Dr. Nicole.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nicole Lindsey, your host for today's show in Empowering Women in Chiropractic. First of all, I want to give ChiroSecure a shout out and a thank you and some love, and make sure you do as well. Give us some hearts, some love, some likes. They do so much for our profession, not only giving us great insurance and coverage, but they allow us to come together and bring some quality guests onto these shows so that we can educate, empower, and grow as people, as a profession. So make sure you show them some love. I'm your host, and I'm also the founder of Dominate ChiroMarketing. So if you have any need for marketing to MDs or getting more information about how to connect and build relationships with MDs, feel free to reach out to me. Today, I have a special guest, and I'm so excited about our guest today. She is Kim Klapp, and she manages a chiropractic office and has been doing so since 1995. So she can give us a lot of information there. She's an author. She's a coach. She's also the founder of Assistance for Chiropractic Excellence, where she teaches CA coaching, team training, and she does this through monthly online courses. And we're going to learn more about her and her program. So welcome, Kim.
Thanks so much. And I too heart ChiroSecure big time. Best coverage around, exceptional service, tremendous resources for both patients and the practice. So cannot thank them enough for everything they do for the profession.
Yes, I agree. Couldn't agree more. I don't even know why there's a question why we shouldn't all be insured with them. So if you're not insured and you're watching this, get insured with them. So let's just jump right in with your topic. I think it's so important. I was just sharing this on one of my pages, and I thought to myself, what good is it to have this successful, thriving practice if we don't have a good team of people behind us to share all that joy and fun with? So we have to bring our team with us. So what do you think is the greatest asset of a chiropractic practice, and why?
Well, obviously it is a CA, but not just your team members. It is RCAs who are well trained, so they are highly skilled, they're empowered, and they're motivated to make a difference in your practice. If you stop and think how many interactions your team members have versus you as the doctor have, even if it's just a one doctor, one CA office, that CA is going to see that patient so many more times, at the front desk, check in, check out, during scans, deal with them on the phone, via email. If you do therapy, whatever the case is, your CAs have so many more opportunities for interaction. So are those opportunities going to be where they increase the success of your office, or are they going to unconsciously sabotage the success of your office? Because everything that a CA does, really relates. I always say they're kind of like the gatekeepers of your practice. They determine the trifecta, whether money comes in or out, new patients come in or out, and volume comes in or out. So it's really all about those three aspects: new patients, retention, and collections. And CAs have such a tremendous impact, and often they're not empowered enough to know the difference that they can make.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I've been in practice for over 17 years, and I have to say, when my office is at its height with collections, with volume and numbers, and retention and all of that, it seems we have a really good team in place. So that is definitely the key, to make it happen. So how important do you feel looking at personalities are for putting different CAs in different positions?
Actually, I am more of a fan of cross training. So we do have an amalgam of personality in our office. I don't do personality training, testing, I should say. I don't do personality testing, but what I do is find the characteristics that fit the job because, I always hire for characteristics and then I train on all the skills. So when I get the right people in the job, I'm hiring people specifically so that they can do the front desk in the morning and then do computer entry in the afternoon. And then the next morning do scans and the technical component of the job and help out with insurance verification. So in our office, our CAs actually rotate the three different basic areas plus support. While we do have a designated insurance person, obviously that is a different personality role. But as a CA, all the jobs tend to basically mix and match.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. So it wouldn't mean one personality.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to have all the different roles and understand all of that. How to do
Right.
that is more important than the personality. It seems like a lot of chiros, and I myself included, will hire a CA and you go through training, maybe a couple months, and then it just seems like it flops. They leave, it doesn't work out. What do you think is the reason for that? Why a CA never really reaches their potential?
Well, there's obviously numerous reasons. The first being the wrong CA is hired. And I've got, actually, there's a video I have put together. I will be happy to give you the link later, but it's about, all the mistakes that most chiropractors make and what causes you to hire the wrong person. And I'll be happy to share that with the ChiroSecure audience. Number one. Number two is that there's not typically the right training systems in place. Because in our office, we have an 11-week training timeline that goes through specifically what we train a CA on, week one, day one, week one, day two, week one, day three, all the way through 11 weeks, because you want to make sure that you don't put that new CA into either overwhelm or boredom mode. When they get into overwhelm mode, that's stressful. And when your employees are stressed, it affects your practice. And your practice can either be in stress mode or growth mode. It can't be in both. They're mutually exclusive. So we want to make sure that everything is systemized so you can take all of your efforts and energy from your team and focus it on what really matters, and that's the patient experience.
Yeah. Okay. So a 12-week or 11-week training. I want to hear more about your program, how you do that. Is it, I know you have online courses. I saw that on your website, but do you also get on the phone and do coaching one-on-one with the team? How does your program work?
Great. Well, I appreciate you asking. And really how it works is dependent upon where you are and what your needs are. So for example, if you're a chiropractor who isn't sure you have the right team members, and if you're asking those questions to yourself right now going, chances are you don't have the right person on your team, and you already know that. You just need someone else to tell you. So I offer a how to hire, train, and keep great CAs program, and that's to help you attract someone and gives you the tools to make sure that you screen them out, screen the wrong people out, and to interview properly, to train properly, all the systems for that. So that's if you start out with nobody on your team or you need somebody extra. The second area is, let's say you have a brand new CA. Well, a brand new CA needs obviously training, and that's what I said. We do the 11-week training timeline. I don't offer that. I offer the timeline, but I don't have a boot camp type version. And the reason is because every practice is different. So instead, what I offer is what I call my Lifeline Basic CA training. And the Lifeline Basic is 4 modules of, the best information to get your new CA started off on the right foot. So they understand chiropractic and how important a positive mindset is. And they've got the best telephone skills and front desk skills so that they understand that they can serve their ultimate goal, which is to get patients in and to get them back according to the doctor's recommendations. So that's going to start them out right. It's just a 2-hour, 4-module kickstart, jumpstart. And then obviously the doctor's going to need to plug in all of their specific software issues, procedure issues, et cetera. And now once we have a proficient CA, if you're on that realm, in that mode, well, at that point, that's when I suggest the Chiro team training. Because just because people know what to do doesn't mean we do it every time with every patient in every scenario. And we're always hopefully learning higher and higher levels of excellence. We're always evolving in our practice. That's one of the things I love, is that I actually am in the office 3 days a week and figuring out better strategies of doing things. So the Chiro team training is one course each month. The reason it's only one course is that way you can focus on that topic. Whatever you focus on expands. You can come up with action steps and actually implement the information versus, drinking through a fire hose at a weekend seminar and actually implementing nothing. So again, that's what I work with. Like I mentioned, the principle of focus. Whatever you focus on expands. One of the courses, for example, is attracting new patients. And my team knows exactly what I teach. Yet when we focused on it, one of our team members went out and referred 14 new patients in 2 weeks. So sometimes it's not just new information, it's just doing what you know or finding better ways of tweaking things. Because like I said, there's always a better way.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I know for myself, I will hire and do really good about training in the beginning. And then, as they start to get it, I back off and I think, oh, they got it. I almost forget to keep.
Exactly. It's like, oh, done. They're trained. I'm good. Yeah. And I will tell you that that's exactly one of the reasons I started the ACE Chiro team training, because I realized that even for myself, I wanted to, in my head, I thought it was a great idea. Let's focus on one topic every single month. We'll go over the fundamentals and then we'll come up with, I'll come up with strategies for growth. But guess what? I didn't have enough discipline to do that in my own office. The only way I got to do it was, okay, I'm going to do it for everybody else. And so I created it for everybody else. And now we do it in our office as well. We're a month ahead of everybody else.
Wonderful. Now, is this something that the DC does along with the CAs, or the CAs can totally just take this and run with it?
Great question. I find that the biggest return on investment is when the doctor watches the webinar with their team. And keep in mind, it's only 1 hour. And actually there's an option to do either or. You can either watch the whole hour, or there's a 3-part module, same information, just depends on what fits your schedule better. But when the doctor watches the information, they're going to be able to help the CAs identify what fits best with their vision, their mission, their practice objectives and goals. So because obviously, like I said, every practice is different. They need to be able to help their team adapt the information. There's no way they're going to adopt it. But I really think that helps. Also, I noticed that when some CAs, not everybody, everybody's got their different wishes and different paths, but some CAs kind of think, well, we already do everything. Or no, everything's perfect, or I don't want to change, or whatever filter might be keeping them from growth, I find is eradicated. Plus, everybody tends to pay a little bit more attention when the doctor's there versus watching it like this. So you're going to get different things out of it if the doctor's there. So I always say, and I've had actually lots of doctors say, I was able to get rid of my, and I'm not saying should, but practice management group because of all the information that I include.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with having the DC included. I also coach Chiros to market to MDs. We talked about this before coming on here. And so many of the DCs, they want to pawn everything off on their CAs, because I know they're busy and I get it, but in order to train the CA and to hold them accountable and to help them tweak the communication aspects and things that the CAs are missing, they need to know it as well. Right. So I do, like for my clients, the DCs, to go through everything first and then teach the CA how to make the calls to set up the lunch and learns at the MD's offices, or teach them how to do that. So I like that we're on the same page with that.
Yay.
Okay. So any last bits of pearls of wisdom that you want to drop on our audience today regarding your program, and anything that you feel they need to know about CAs and
well,
team?
I think just to realize the implications. We give a lot of lip service and appreciation, hopefully, to CAs. And I say that because when I first got into the profession and I was running the Michigan Association, the very first speaker I heard referred to CAs as cheese stuffers. And I thought, wow, that doesn't give a lot of value to what your team members do. And I know on other hands, probably was not intentional, but I'm thinking with the high cost of turnover, we certainly want to appreciate, our CAs and do team building things. But, to realize just, all the different on the spectrum where your CAs are. Think about it with new patients. How well do they ask for referrals? How well do they educate? How well are they obtaining reviews? Are they themselves a walking billboard for chiropractic care and how awesome it is? Are they referring their families and friends? I just posted yesterday, we have a new CA in our office. She's on yesterday was day 3, and she had her fiance in for care on day 3.
I saw.
So, so it depends, not to mention, what kind of internal marketing events are they doing in your office? What about, are they organizing community workshops? And then, like you said, the lunch and learns with MDs. So there's such a huge spectrum, and every step of the way, it's what level of excellence are they at? That's for new patients. Then if you want to think about retention, it's all revolves around the patient experience. And obviously your CAs play into that huge, because the patient's perception really is your reality. That's the reality in your practice, is whatever they think is going on. So, they're controlling hopefully positively, your office environment. And, and how they're answering the phone, especially for a prospective new patient. And that when someone walks in their office, they're not an interruption to their duties. They get the focus. They're putting them in the spotlight. They're talking about them and chiropractic, not about themselves. So they're taking the opportunity to educate, because, we need them to understand the role that they play. We want to empower team members so that, on the second, not only do new patients rave and wow when they come in the office and leave great reviews and mention our team members by name, but then when they come back, that CA understands that I have a role here. I can help the patient really understand the doctor's recommendations. I can help them understand how important it is to stick to those recommendations. So they can prevent all kinds of problems that otherwise transpire later. Not to mention going out of their way, how awesome CAs do with, writing warm fuzzy notes and, creating patient appreciation days in your practice that are actually appreciation days and about giving instead of getting. But there's so many myriad of ways that CAs, make a huge difference. Now, obviously, if they have the new patients down, all those things down, and they have retention down, that's going to affect collections as is. But then also about how they collect money, whether it's at the front desk or from a new patient or during a financial consultation or having insurance tracking claims. It is huge and staggering when people don't get how valuable a well-trained, highly skilled CA is.
Yes. And I love what you're doing. The more I hear about your program, your coaching, your style, the more I am grateful that you are doing what you do and want to know more, because this is going to just help more chiropractors reach more people and help our profession. So thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for joining us today. And I'm so excited to get my CAs plugged into this, because it comes down to the bottom line is we can't do it alone.
No.
And the more excited, the more trained, the more you take care of your team, and the better off everybody's going to be. So thank you all for joining us today. And thank you, Kim. And next week, we have Dr. Randy Ross joining our show, hosting, and she will have a guest, and you don't want to miss that. So thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. We hope you enjoyed this week's Facebook Live event. Please like us on Facebook, comment, and share. We look forward to seeing all of you next week for another episode of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. Now, go ahead and hit the share button and tell your friends and colleagues about the show. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. This has been a ChiroSecure production.